Hello everybody, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel on bloody YouTube. Fingers crossed this is working just fine. Looking forward to another one. People got pretty angry last time. We'll see what happens this time. Let's just remember, right now, hopefully you're safe. That's what's important. You're looking after yourself. You've got a smile on your face, or you're about to have a smile on your face due to this video. I'm going to give my opinion. You're going to have to deal with it, and that will be the afternoon done. Okay, if you do feel like doing me a favor, there's two things you can do. I'd love to get myself to 60k by Christmas. That'll get done if you hit that subscribe button. So if you enjoyed the video, you want to see more, then hit that button. Also smash that like button as well. And we'll talk at the end in terms of you guys getting involved with the chat, because I see you there. I see you. Okay, this is tricky, right? This is really, really tricky because we have we've got a tier list that is it's going to be difficult to navigate through, but I think we can do it together. Now, I've put together some ideas in terms of what I want to kind of look at. I've obviously got my 5 tiers, which was difficult to do. And what I've done is I've put together the number 10s of every single club. Now, this is a bit tricky because there's players like Bruno Fernandes, who I think he's number 18, is he? He's not a number 10. There's a few players that aren't number 10s for their clubs, but I've taken every number 10 because I think that's kind of part of it. You've got to be willing to put your hand up to be a number 10, to be a number 10. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Okay, that's why Messi, and this is all in honor of our boy Diego Maradona. I just thought that number 10 position is something that gives me, certainly as a QPR fan, through the years we've had these amazing number 10s, and so I wanted to just kind of look into it because I think those are the players. When you think of Zidane, Messi, Cruyff, I mean Cruyff was even number 7 more, but that kind of player, right? Those number 10s, they're a big part of what football's all about. So let's have a look at what we've got here. We've got the number 10 from every single Premier League club, and here are the different tiers. So we've got William Gallas. Now, you remember William Gallas was number 10. Someone put this out on Twitter. Thank you for whoever did that. I should remember your name. Apologies, bro, or Brozette, whatever. William Gallas, number 10 for Arsenal. No use as a number 10. He shouldn't be there as a number 10, okay? So basically, that tier suggests that you're as much use as a number 10 as William Gallas was as a number 10 for Arsenal. Understand? Great. We move up to Sympathy 10. Now, this is where we're probably going to get a few angry viewers. Hopefully not. We'll find out. I just felt when I was looking at some of these names here, I'm trying to figure out as we work our way up to the perfect 10, which we'll obviously get to. The Sympathy 10 is maybe a player that just isn't long for that number 10 or doesn't totally deserve that number 10. Okay, now I've looked into the stats a little bit. Of course, this is going to be my opinion as well in terms of just how I feel about that player, but kind of where they are at within the trajectory of the club is a big thing as well. So that's going to be part of it. So the Sympathy 10 is like, yeah, you can have number 10, but you're not going to have number 10 for long. Next up, he's good, but is he a 10? Of course, we have to get this in. We have to get this in to every tier list. That's how it works. We know that, right? So he's good, but is he a 10? So okay, he's a good player. We know that. But there's two ways this could you could get dropped into this category. One being, is it someone who really shouldn't have the number 10? Or is it someone I'm just still, he's good, but is he good? We're at that stage. Is he actually that good a player? Because the number 10, if you want to be the number 10, you've got to be the best player in your team. Facts. Straight facts, okay? So, next up is top 10. So, top 10, you're a good player. You're a nice, steady, tidy, lovely player. Simple. But are you perfect 10? You might be top 10. The top 10 is great, but are you a perfect 10? That's the top tier. So for that, again, I was looking at strategy I've got for this, or criteria for this. I've got the quality of you as a number 10, right? The quality of the player. Icon status is kind of important as well in terms of style, that you see within Ngannou, that kind of player. Usefulness today is what I'm thinking about, and then true 10 potential. True 10 potential. Got it? Good. Okay, let's get into it. First up, who are we going to go with first up? Let's have a look. Who do you want to go for first up? Let's go with someone who's kind of middle of the road, maybe. There's probably some easy, simple ones to start off with. Maybe Harry Kane. Let's talk about Harry Kane because he's kind of got this kind of conversation starting again in terms of a number 10 because he's just been doing bits recently, to be honest. In terms of creating stuff this season in particular, I can get it up here for you guys. Let's take a look at this. His ability in terms of live passes that create shots, he's right up there with 27. That's this season, isn't it? Yeah, 27. And goals created from his passes. That's the difference, I guess. You've got someone like Heung-min Son in front of him. He's got 8. Grealish has got 7. We might get to Grealish quite quickly as well because the stats are pretty heavy on those two. In terms of being a top 10, I think he's right up there. He is right up there. I'm going to struggle to do anything else apart from put this man as a perfect 10. I think he is a perfect 10, isn't he? I mean, how can you say anything different? You know, the stats are backing it up in terms of the way that he's playing this season, the way that he's tweaked his role, which actually, if I was reading an article on him and it was looking at how he played at Norwich. When he was at Norwich, there's an article in The Athletic, really, really good article, and it was looking at how he played back then. And apparently when he went there back then, he was a similar kind of player. He actually played as a bit of a number 10, played kind of in between the lines a little bit. And then as he sort of went on with his career, became this, what you thought was a proper number 9. But Chris Hughton actually described him as 9.5. And that's the other thing, actually, when we're looking at this, is there are some players that just aren't your traditional number 10s, but that's because the way that teams defend has changed. And that's affecting the way your number 10s are seen. Thank you, Ryan. That's very kind of you. Appreciate it, bro. So is it on the shirt numbers, not their position? Ollie, that's it. That's what we're doing here. Because I think you need to put your hand up and say, I want to be a number 10. And then hopefully play that role. But it's not always possible, as we will see as this goes on. Harry Kane is the number 10 for Spurs. He's also playing as a number 10 quite often at the moment, but scoring goals as well. That is perfect. He's a perfect 10. Next up, I'm going to go, let's keep it top end. Jack Grealish. Now, Jack Grealish, I need to get him out of these tier lists because he's in pretty much in every single tier list that I do. And you guys know how much I love him. I think he's wonderful. And it's based on these stats. I think it's a big thing. And actually, to remind you guys, there's a couple of players I've been sleeping on. I have been sleeping on these players. And it's only doing this tier list that I've now realised that I was sleeping on them. And my opinion of them will have to change because the stats kind of back it up a little bit. So looking at Jack Grealish just this season, as we saw already, this is from FB Ref. I know guys often ask me where I get these stats. FB Ref, amazing website. Go check it out. So here it's all about goal creation, player and goal and shot creation. And I think the big thing for me, look, you've got goal creation, but that's dependent on the person having the opportunity. In terms of shot creation, Jack Grealish, 53 chances. Of course, we know how good Kevin De Bruyne is, but Jack Grealish as a number 10. And this is another big thing for me, is live passes. So not a dead ball. I think that's something that we'll dive into as well. I'll show you those stats as time goes on. But in terms of creating chances as a number 10, just in open play, I think it's huge. And he's on 40. 40! The guy's a joke. The guy's top tier. The guy is a perfect 10. Let's get him in there. There you go. 2 perfect 10s kicking off like that. It's madness. What are we doing? What are we doing? Right. Loves dives. Yeah, he does like a dive, but I mean, that's what number 10s do as well. Delta Rap's one of the greatest, and he did that. Okay, 445 people watching right now. This is beautiful. Smash that like button. Get me on the way to 1,000 likes. That would be amazing. And hit the subscribe button as well whilst you're there. Let's dive into some of the people that aren't really going to make it now, okay? Where do we go? Let's go Shay. We'll go in order. Shay Adams. Now, Shay Adams, he's got a problem in this tier list. Because he's not a number 10. He's not a number 10. For me, he's got that Harry Kane vibe in terms of maybe his sort of frame, his ability to be a proper hold-up man, but also be able to kind of go in behind and be a proper number 9. I still see him as a number 9 right now. He's really changing people's minds in a big way. So I think he's a good player. And actually, if you'd asked me at the end of this season or going into this season, I would have put him as a sympathy 10. Definitely. Maybe drifted towards William Gallas because he was rubbish. But this season, he's really proven a point. He's got some sort of firmer roots in the Premier League now. He believes that he's good enough for this level. And I actually think he's good. And he's got time on his side. That's going to be a big one because there's other players that will... I'll tell you what, I'll do it. Ashley Barnes. See, Ashley Barnes, I would put these two side by side. But Ashley Barnes, this might be harsh. Tell me what you think. Ashley Barnes has kind of got years down the road. And really, when I take him out of that Burnley team and put him into any other Premier League team, is he good enough for the Premier League? Now, you can't put him in William Gallas because he's not totally useless for Burnley. He suits their system. You can trust him, sort of. He doesn't score that many goals. So you could link it there, but I feel like Shay Adams has got a higher ceiling to go, and he's playing for a team that's playing a bit more football. Ashley Barnes doesn't do that for me. I feel like he's a bit of a sympathy 10, and that's why I put those two in those two different positions, because I think Shay Adams has got a longer road ahead of him. And next up, let's go Aguero. Let's go Aguero. So Aguero is not, I mean, he's good, but is he a 10? Do you know what I mean? That's the difficult thing with him. But then you have someone like Aguero who scored the goals that he's scored, and actually, he probably does create a lot for the team as well. It's something that you're missing with Man City. Obviously, they're starting to turn the corner now, but he's one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. The trouble I'm having is he's not an old school number 10. So I'm intrigued to know what the chat think about this one. If I put him top 10, that's fine. I think it's almost rudeness to not put him as a perfect 10, just because he offers everything, doesn't he? Okay, yeah, we're all good. And there's a bit of a recency bias on Harry Kane right now. So I feel like this is quite easy. Aguero is going to go perfect 10, actually. Yeah, he is. He's got to, isn't he? Right, next up. Tom Kearney. Now, Tom Kearney is one of those where, again, is he a top 10? He's good, but is he good? Is he a 10, sorry? Or is he a sympathy 10? I would have put him a sympathy 10 a few weeks ago. But then I looked at the stats from this season. And actually, if you look at shots created per 90, he's 14th in that one. So he's doing all right in that one. And I think there was another one where he was quite high up as well. I think maybe total shots created, he was up there as well. He's up in 12th for a team that's right down the bottom. Let's remember where Fulham are. They're only just starting to turn the corner. So he's actually having a better season than we thought. Earlier in the season, I was saying that he was playing too deep. And that kind of leans towards the idea that actually he's all right. He's all right. I think we need to get to the end of the season and he needs to play a huge part in Fulham staying up. But he's been a really good player for Fulham over the years. I do quite like him. He can grab a goal for you as well. Great on the ball, very tidy, good passer. So he's good. But is he a top 10? I'm not sure he's a top 10 yet. It'd be interesting to see. See if there's that might be a move. I'll make a move at the end. You guys let me know in the chat. Because I think... Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm just there. Let me know, because at the end I'll make one change. But I'm going to put him, he's good, but is he a 10? So stick around to the end, see which one I change. Next up, Mcallister. Now, I like him, but he's not playing at the moment. He's not playing at all. Obviously, he came in at back end of last season. He's come from Boca Juniors. I like him. I think he's got a lot of potential. But he needs to start playing games. And I'm not sure how he's going to get many games at Brighton. So it feels like a sympathy 10 for me at the moment. People might go mad about that. But when you've got the likes of Trossard, Connolly's getting better, Malpai, Welbeck's coming to the squad, he's not going to get anywhere in the team. So I don't see, unless his potential really grows, and he's young enough to do that, it might move forward for him. Because I think he is kind of good. But he's not playing. You know, he's barely getting on the bench at the moment. So I'm going to put him as a sympathy 10 right now, which is a shame because I don't really want to do it. Next up, Alioski, sympathy 10. The reason I'm saying sympathy 10 is because it's one of those players, and there's a few here, where you grow from the Championship and you move into the Premier League, and then you're just not going to be used in the same way. So for Leeds back in the day, now he's been at Leeds, I think this is his 5th season now. Way back when he was that kind of player, sort of always been quite a prickly player, but had that number 10 vibe. Kind of does have that number 10 vibe, but the way that Leeds play and the way that Bielsa plays, he just doesn't suit the number. He basically plays left back or midfield left. I think if he was back in the Championship, he goes back to that role and plays in that role. Maybe in a different team, he does the same. But I'm just not sure if he's up to it. Really, I don't think he's. a number 10 for any Premier League team. So for me, it feels like a sympathy 10 drifting towards the William Gallas one. But I think, look, he does serve a purpose for them overall. So I'm gonna leave him in there. So there he is, a sympathy 10. Gilfie Sigurdsson. Ouch. Poor Gilfie. Now, Gilfie, I was looking at last season's stats, and I think he got himself 3 goals, maybe, in 35 games. Is that right? Yeah, 35 games last season, and 3 goals. 2 goals. Not good enough. Not good enough at all. He's one of those where he's had good times, and I think for me, he's a good player, 31 years of age. He's only getting worse. He's one of those where you might kind of put him as a top 10. So here's the question. Is he top 10, but he's just not getting the opportunities now at Everton? To be honest, he's actually played a fair amount of minutes this year. But he's got James Rodriguez there, who is the real number 10 there. And so he's having to play a different role. And for me, I want to see something different apart from being good in dead ball situations. And this is where it is. He's always great for that. Creating shot chances from dead ball situations. 31, 9th. So he's a top 10 player when it comes to that. But then when you do live passes, he's nowhere to be seen. He is really nowhere to be seen. You've got to scroll right down to find him. I'm still struggling. There he is, 125th in the league. And so for a number 10 for Everton to play 35 games, it's not really good enough, unfortunately. I like him. He's had a good career. I think he's coming to the end of it now. So I think he's one of those where it does feel a bit like, dare I say it, he's a sympathy 10. Just because he's had that bad season. Does he go somewhere else and do something better? Quite possibly. But right now, in terms of being of use to Everton, I don't think he's necessary for them. I think even someone like Bernard's probably a better number 10 maybe now at this point. Maybe that's being harsh. But so, yeah, I just feel like he's a bit of a sympathy 10 right now. Next up, Lanzini. Now, Lanzini is the definition for me of a sympathy 10. Now, West Ham fans are going to get well annoyed at this, and I understand that because he scored an absolute screamer. You love him for that, and so you should. And a good few seasons ago, he was great as well. But we've got to remember how frustrating an average he's been for the last 2 seasons, is it? Something like that, 2 or 3 seasons. He's a talented player. He's had problems with injuries, but really, for me, even this season, he's come on and scored that goal against Spurs, but I think he only played 30 minutes in that game. Of course, he's got talent, but he's flattered to deceive over the last couple of years. And the nail in the coffin, I might even drift him towards here. It's the same goes with Sigurdsson, but they brought in Ben Rama. Ben Rama, he's got the number 9 shirt, which doesn't fit at all, but he will be the number 10. Oh, he'll be the number 10. And so, because of that, that makes him a sympathy 10 because I don't think he's long for that number. That's why I'm going to put him as a sympathy 10. Next up, James Madison. I'm going to save James Madison. We'll save James Madison. I'm going to save Mane and I'm going to save Ozil. I'm going to go to Matty Phillips. Now, Matty Phillips, me and Matty Phillips have got previous. He was at QPR. And the thing that really frustrated me with Matt Phillips, and if you look at his goal scoring, I think he scored 7 goals last season for West Brom. So was useful, served a purpose for him last season. But first of all, he's not a number 10. Second of all, he's probably got that number because he wanted it. Do you know what I mean? You know that guy when you play Sunday League football and he's like, yeah, I'm number 10. You're not, mate. You're playing out wide. That said, he doesn't really have the pace of a winger anymore, or never did, to be honest. He's not much use as a number 10. I don't think he's that much use at this level. And for me, the thing that used to really frustrate me is people would always go, oh, Matty Phillips is a good player though, isn't he? And he's not. He's a match of the day player because he'll bang one in or he'll have a few moments and they make it into the highlights package. But for the rest of the game, in my experience of watching Matt Phillips, he's always flattered to deceive. And thus, I'm sorry, Matt, you are a William Gallas too. You're just of no use to me. I'm sorry. I don't want to do that, but I have to. Next up, Daniel Podence. Or Podence, whatever you want to say. I really like this guy. You know when you just get feelings on people, that's what I had about Greylish about 2-3 years ago. I was like, there's just something really nice about him. And if we're talking about number 10s, I really just love the way that he plays. He's 5'5", 24 years old, but physically strong, which I think is important. And again, kind of watching him in the games recently, you've seen it not fall for him a lot of the time. And he's actually, I just really rate him. I just really, really rate him. I'm looking at his numbers here. Not outrageous. I think that's kind of down to the way that Wolves play, which is a little bit defensive at times. There he is down in 19th in terms of shots created per 90. In terms of live passes, I think what I liked about him was his dribbling. I think his dribbling is good. There you go, second. When it comes to dribbles and in terms of creating shot chances from that, I think he's really, really good player. I really think he's going to go. I can see him being that next Jota who gets that move. It's just where you're going to play him, but I think he's going to be a real superstar for Wolves. And I really, really like him. I'm drifting towards perfect 10, but I don't think he's there yet, of course, because, you know, he's still taking his time. So at the moment, I'm going to put him as a top 10. I think one day he'll be seen as a perfect 10 because then he's got the physical attributes despite being 5'5", the ability to dribble. He's very unique in that way, and there's not many players like that. And I just really like him. I just really, really like him. Next up, who is it gonna be? Let's go, Marcus Rashford, who as a bloke is a perfect 10. Of course he is. Of course he is. And in terms of shot creation last season, and even this season, actually, he's pretty steady in his numbers. He is pretty steady in his numbers. Sort of 18. He's not your conventional number 10. I think he's almost let down a little bit, tiny bit, I guess, by the fact that he's, you know, he can do everything. He could play as a winger. He could play as a number 10. If he didn't have the pace that he has, which is not his fault, he'd play as a number 10, and his feet are so great that he'd be wonderful in that position as well. Or is he a striker as well? I think that's a question for the comments in the chat. Where do you play him? You know, is he a number 10? And if he's a number 10, do you know what I mean? Position-wise, I'm struggling to place him a little bit here. That's correct. Yeah, United's top assister in the last couple of seasons. I think that's what maybe puts him a little bit higher up, because I think, look, there's no doubt he's top 10. No doubt. I love him. I think he's awesome. And he starts on that left-hand side. And, in modern football, you don't get to just sit in the middle anymore, really, or very rarely. And so he doesn't get to do that as well. I just think he's so talented. I'm going to have to put him up there. I think he is. I think he is a perfect 10. Andros Townsend. Now, Andros Townsend, I go to my stats again. Sorry if you're getting angry at the stats. But in terms of, look, shots created from dead balls, he's on 6. So he's pretty steady in that position. He's a proper 6.5 out of 10. He's a proper 6.5 out of 10. He never really lets you down. But should he have the number 10 shirt when you got the likes of Eze there? I don't think so. Let's be honest, I don't think so. You know, it's got to be Eze for me. Eze needs to have that in his locker, and he does. So I think it's a sympathy 10 for me. No. I'm going to go, he's good, but is he a 10? Because I think he does offer a lot to the team. He does. But he's just not, he should not be the number 10 for that football club anymore. That needs to be Eze. Has to be. Just has to be, really. So, yeah, Andros Townsend, I get why you're there. I respect you. I think it looks like it's a hair transplant, and if it is, then congratulations, because it looks fantastic. But for me, he's good, but is he good? But is he a 10, sorry. Billy Sharp. No, I feel nervous about this because I'm kind of like, you've got to respect your elders. You've got to respect those players who've done bits for you over the years. And Billy Sharp is obviously that player, right? So we've got to be careful. But my criteria here, so I've got the quality of the player, icon status, might beef him up a bit, usefulness today, and true 10 potential. Now, 3 out of the 4 of those, he's struggling. It's just icon status. He's not of use, is he? Or maybe he is, because the Sheffield United are only going to play one way. They're not really going to play with a number 10. So he's just not there anymore, is he? Oh, it seems mean. Stick with me, Sheffield United fans. Stick with me to the end of the video. That might be my move, because that hurts my heart a little bit. Alan St-Maximin. I love him. I think he's top 10. I think for him to be doing what he's doing, if we look at last season's sort of shot creation, and especially from, say, dribbling, there he is in third position. 22 dribbles that led to shots. You've got Zaha and Salah in front of him. This is in a team, a very, very poor Newcastle team, as you guys know that I've said that quite on numerous occasions. I don't think he's up to much. I don't think Newcastle are up to much, but he is just amazing to watch, and that's a big part of it as well. He has true 10 potential because he's got the skills to pay the bills, but he's also, delivering for a team that's really frustrating to watch 9 times out of 10. So yeah, he's there, top 10, easy. Can he get perfect 10? We will see. It'd be interesting to see these kind of players. I'm wondering, do they move up to that level if they get the move? It'd be interesting to see. Now we've got some 4 fascinating ones. Let's go Mane. Now Mane, I can't stress enough how brilliant Sadio Mane is. And I know that's not new news. But the thing with Sadio Mane as well that I think we need to remember, and it feels a little bit hypocritical, but because of the people understood that, the number 10's in that little pocket of space between the midfield and the defence. So let's stop that player by pressing high. And obviously, then your number 10s have to press high. And so there are different teams that do different things. And Liverpool are a team that press really, really high. And Sadio Mane is just wonderful. The one thing I would say is that, does he really sort of drop bit deep, and does he, stylistically, he's not your normal number 10. He's the modern day number 10, and the two are kind of mutually exclusive. I kind of still want that player who sort of has that freedom. And the thing is, he often plays 2 positions. He plays out wide, but he then plays those darting runs, or he goes and plays up centre forward. My point is, he's amazing. He's a perfect 10 for me. He really is a perfect 10 for me. Just because if you want to be able to press, in times gone by, there'll be players that you've got to carry a little bit in terms of the workload. He actually is the starting point. He's the leader for that Liverpool side nowadays, especially with Van Dijk out of the team. He's amazing. As simple as that, really. And so he has to be a perfect 10. To be honest, I actually just want to put him here. Just put him right at the front because I love him. There you go. Last 3. And these are all really fascinating. So Pulisic. I think Pulisic is top 10 for me. Now, 90 games, 13 goals for Dortmund. 39 games, I think this is maybe at the back end of last season. In his first season, 39 games in total, 10 goals. The problem with him has been the injuries, right? I think he just needs to kind of step it up a little bit and just have that consistency, both in the kind of the minutes that he's playing as much as anything else. I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's one of those players that sometimes you see players that make the game either... So number 10s do 2 things. They either look like they're playing in fast forward, or they slow the game down. Now, I love a player who slows the game down, or it makes it look like it's being played in slow motion. He's not that. He's very energetic, and he's got that ability to play out wide. Can he play through sort of those central areas? I think he can in time. I just think he needs to play games. I like him a hell of a lot, but I don't think he's proved it yet. I think there's so much talent and potential there, and obviously a lot of pressure on him as well, that people are really excited about him. And last year, I can show you again, he was up there when it comes to dribbles, which is decent. But for Chelsea, again, it's down to maybe per 90. It'd be interesting to see his dribbles per 90. That would probably be a bit higher, because I think that's where you saw the best out of him. 14th when it's in terms of creating. But I think you can get goals from him as well. It just needs to click for him, and it needs to click sooner rather than later, because he has struggled with injuries for quite a while now, certainly in his Chelsea career, and that needs to change. So for that, I'm going to put him in top 10. Keep letting me know what you think, guys. I know there's a lot to talk about Rashford. We'll talk about Rashford in a second, because I will make one change. I'll tell you what, make one change for you guys at the consensus, and one change for me. Right, final 2. Let's do Madison. So Madison is that player that I think I've been sleeping on. I think I have been sleeping on him because, and look, I've said this myself. I think people can be a bit shallow about footballers, and I think with him, You got the bright teeth, you got the slick back hair. You're thinking, oh God, is he going to flatter to deceive a little bit? But actually, I'm wrong here. I'm wrong because he's for 2 seasons now, maybe 3 seasons as well. If we went back another one, I think we'd see it. James Madison has been right up there for creating chances. Now this is last season. Look at the total shots created from their actions. Madison's in 3rd place there with 169 per 90. 3rd place as well. The big thing, the difference for me and say him and a Greylish is the fact that his live passes creating goal scoring opportunities is down at 76. So that's where he drops down. And then you see him with dead balls. That's where he is deadly. And so it's one of those where, for me, in terms of a number 10, look, set pieces and things like that are great, but that's a bonus for me. That kind of should come with a number 10. But I want to see the bits in open play. That's where I want to see those top 10. That's where you go from a top 10 to a perfect 10. So for me, and again, if we look at this season, I think he's right up there again as well. If I'm right, I think it's the main one here is because he's not been able to play as much recently. Is shots per 90. I thought he was up there, or maybe he's not, or maybe is it in total? Oh, he's not there when it comes to this season. Maybe I'm getting something wrong, or is it dead ball? There he is, top 10 with dead ball, but he's only played a few games. He's only played 5 games so far, so that's why he's a little bit further down. But I think it's unfair to not see that he's a really, really good player. Is he perfect 10 though? Is he perfect 10? I think he's getting very close. He's drifting between the two. I would just like to see a few more goals from him. If I can see a few more goals from him, I think he's got that leap that like Grealish has made this season in terms of getting some more goals because he is playing for a good team. Of course, he's got to create for Vardy all the time, so that plays a part in maybe him not scoring as many goals. But I would like to see a few more goals for him. So I'm going to put him in top 10 now, and I can understand if people get a bit annoyed by that, but I think that's fair. That feels fair to me. Now, Mesut Ozil. Now, this one's really tough because I can look at the stats from last season, which were fine. He sort of had a few moments in terms of, creating shots. That's his job, right? I think I'll show you here just quickly. He's down in 17th position. The problem with him is obviously 2 teams now. And is this down to the squad? Is it down to other things that I'm not going to get into right now? But from a footballing point of view, you've got Unai Emery, who was happy to leave him out of this team for a lot of it. And then Mcallister, who's kind of done the same, sort of started to get a tune out of him, and then has made that decision again as well. Now, if we're being, you could say it's naive, you could say it's just sticking to the football facts, that he's not being involved for footballing reasons, then, I mean, what am I supposed to do in terms of putting him in? Like, as a player, I'd love to know what people think, but as a player, I think I'm struggling to put him... I'm struggling to put him anywhere apart from William Gallas because he's not of use. He's not available. He's not in the squads. He's sitting at home tweeting. Do you know what I mean? So, you can say whoever, Billy Sharp, is, of course he's nowhere near, he can't lace Mesut Ozil's boots as a footballer. Of course. But at least he can play. Oh, he'll play. At least he can have a go. He's not even in the squad. So unfortunately, and I don't want to do this because we know he's a wonderful player. And God, I hope we get to see him play football again soon because it's just not right, is it? But at the moment, he is, in terms of being a useful number 10, he is William Gallas level of usefulness because he's not even available to play even if they wanted to play him. And let's be honest, right now, with the creation of chances that Arsenal as a team have, they could use him. But they can't use him. And as much as it annoys me, I can't put him anywhere else apart from William Gallas. So that's what I've got so far. I'm going to make one change for you guys in the chat and one change for me. Before I do that, if I can just ask one final time, if you want to do me a massive favor, I'm trying to get myself to 60k, then hit the subscribe button. It just takes you a second to be amazing. Hit the like button as well because it just helps massively with the videos. Right. So I've got to change and you've got to change. So let me know. And any Jaden Biggs, hello mate. Let me know who you want to change. Now there's a lot of talk about Rashford here. Justice for Ashley Barnes, people are saying. ASM down a tier. That's it. Let's get it in the chat now. Let's go. Let's go. James, look at the other players in perfect 10 and tell me Rashford belongs there. Good question. Does he belong there? I mean, let's look at his stats then from last season, shall we? Where are you, Rashford? Because he did actually create quite a lot. He's not your normal number 10. I mean, look, he scored a lot more goals, but he actually played up front a lot more as well, which is obviously a problem. I think he's delivered a lot more than any of that next line of top 10s. I'm actually really happy with this tier list, to be honest. The only one I would change, the only one I want to change is Billy Sharp. The only thing, the nuance of the perfect 10 is if you're going, do they play in that role of being a number 10, right? Now, I'll leave that to you. But I'm going to move Billy Sharp. I'm going to put Billy Sharp to a sympathy 10 because he's a club legend. That's the one change I'm going to make. So for you guys, I want 2 words, a name, and then up or down. Go for it. And as I'll have a little look, Trashford, top 10, says Rory. It seems a bit harsh. Billy is classic sympathy 10, Jim. Yeah, I agree. I know that's why I've made the move. Interesting. And they're all flying in now. There's a lot of Rashford downs. People saying swap Sigurdsson. Ozil up. Rashford down. It feels pretty unanimous. I'm surprised by that. There it is. Ooh. Okay. The answer is there will be, the final move is about to be made. Here it comes. Rashford. I'm happy with him being there. But you have spoken. You believe he's top 10. You don't believe he's a perfect 10 right now. Interesting. Okay. Right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. There are other tier lists that I've done. I've done my Euro England squad. I've done right backs, which was pretty tasty last time. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you did, then check me out on Twitch. I stream like this most days. We play Football Manager. And of course, as I said, subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed it. And let me know in the comments now, not in the chat, but in the comments, let me know what tier list you'd like me to do next, and we'll do it on the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.